Hey, Soulsis, it's Destiny Danielle. I'm finna say what I gotta say so I can get it up out the way, okay? So last week was emotionally difficult. It was a rough week. For nothing external, purely for what was happening on the inside of me. It was the birthday of somebody who I never thought I would be living life without, but I am. And originally, I thought that it was difficult emotionally, just for the simple fact that I was grieving and mourning the version of myself that I was with this person. But upon further reflection, the Lord has since gotten me together. And He was like, no, that's not actually what you're grieving and mourning. You are ego. It's an ego death because I am the villain in this person's story now. And I'd spent my entire, when I say my entire life, I'd spent my entire life painting a heroic persona. Like I have been the joy in the room. I have been the light. I have been the person in everybody's corner. Like if you don't have anybody else in the world, you got me. And what I have come to realize as a result of my deep reflection and embodiment session with the Lord is that number one, it's okay to be the villain in somebody's story. It has to happen because villains push the plot. Stay with me. Villains push the plot. Without conflict, the hero does not have to reach their truest potential. They don't have to develop any of the characteristics that they need to be great. And I always saw being a villain as being a bad thing. Like, I can't be a villain. Everyone has to love me. Because if everybody loves me, then me not loving myself is compensated for. But that's a different story for a different day. And I felt as though in order for my life to have value, I needed to show up as the hero. Number two, your life has value simply because you're living. The breath in your body, the fact that God has woken you up today is all the proof that you need that your life matters, that you have value. And so then as I was talking to the Lord and He brought up the point, or I brought up the point rather, about like me being the light and me shining light in people's dark places. And He showed me a visual. And basically what He was saying in the visual is, I'll just tell you what He said. If I take my phone flashlight and I go down to the ocean floor, my phone's flashlight is not going to do anything for the darkness down there. Why? Because it's not suitable for that particular environment. Your light is specific to the environment that God has created it for. You, I, we, the collective light carriers, we don't get to just throw our light anywhere in the hopes of receiving love. So, check your motive for why you are giving your light away. Are you giving your light away to receive love, to receive validation, to compensate for some void that exists as a result of something you did not get or something someone did to hurt you? And what I came to the realization of is that little Destiny loved this person so much because this person was everything familiar to little Destiny. I don't know what number point I'm on, but the next point is familiarity is not what you should be in search of. Familiarity will get you hurt because what is familiar in one season can literally be detrimental in another. Just because it is familiar does not mean it is good. Our brains are literally wired neuroscientifically for what is familiar, what is predictable, what is common. It literally searches for, have I experienced this before? And if I have, good, that means that it's safe. Why? Because it means that I can control it. It means that it's not unpredictable. Unpredictability is dangerous to our brains, to our minds. And so being with this person, it was everything that I'd ever thought of because it was everything I was ever exposed to. And so in my grief, because remember, I thought I was grieving the version of myself that I was with this person, but I was actually grieving the ego pain, the ego death in the realization of, girl, you're a villain. And so as I am rambling right now with all of these points, I truly hope and pray that you understand a few things. I truly hope and pray that, one, you understand that your story matters exactly as it is. For the longest, I told God, I'm not going to talk about this story. No, because again, me, had built a reputation on being the hero, being the good girl, being the church going, good Southern Baptist Christian woman that the Lord has been raising me up to be, which she still exists. I am still her. I am also a villain. And the part of our story, whatever point number, man, it's like point number 6, I think. I don't know. Take notes, I guess. I don't know. But anywho, the part of our story that we are most ashamed of, because here's the thing, God is not given a shame. That doesn't come from God. So the part of our story that we are most ashamed of, the parts of our story that we are like, oh no, baby, no, I could never tell anybody this part of my story. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, sistren, to go to God concerning that thing, that particular part of your story, because I guarantee you, you will find an immeasurable amount of value in letting God deal with that shame, and letting God peel back the layers of the version of you that you were in that situation. Because if I'm being completely honest, who I am today and what God has allowed me to birth in this season would not exist had I not let God peel back the layers and get all those other versions of me out. Which brings me to the Sinai Gap, because what I was experiencing is, if you know anything about the children of Israel, they left Egypt. They was walking in the wilderness. They was wandering. But God already promised them Canaan, land of flowing with milk and honey. They got to Mount Sinai. Moses went to go get some instructions from the Lord, aka all the laws and rules and all the things that we use. That's what Moses went to go do. And the people was down there panicking. They were panicking because they realized, like, we're not in Egypt anymore. We're not slaves anymore. However, mentally, we still carry a slave's mindset. Mentally, we're still in that survival mode. And the Sinai Gap is all about being in survival mode and that awkward tension of, I know that I need to come up out of this, but I don't know how to come up out of this, because what even is this? So that's what the Sinai Gap is. On June 15th, that's what we are going to be diving into. The identities that have been created in Egypt. You had to become somebody to survive what you have survived. But what was helpful for you then has now become a hindrance in this season. And God is saying it's time to come up out of it. Okay? So yeah, the Sinai Gap. June 15th. Go ahead and get your registration on, okay? Remember that healing is not the end. It is the ignition to the life of God's dreams. This is Destiny Danielle signing off. Peace.